Today's lane change is for anyone feeling stuck, maybe heavy, overwhelmed, not themselves. We're gonna dive in and take a look at where's that coming from? Why is that happening? And pretty much what we can do about it. So stick around and join the deep dive. And here we are. Welcome, everyone. So, we have Lisa with us today. I'm going to bring her on. We're just diving into a little bit about her and also about our nervous systems. Let me grab her and get her up on the stage with us. Hey, Lisa.
Hey, hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing today?
Thank you.
Awesome. So, I thought we would start off. I know we're going to get into the nervous system in a little bit, so hang on, everybody, for that. It's always fun to know about the people that we're talking to a little bit. And people hear a lot about me through my daily videos, my breathwork stuff. But I thought it'd be fun to find out when you noticed that you had this an intuitive side, and how did that show up for you? When was that?
Oh goodness, you know what? I have had I can't even talk today. Intuitive experiences probably as long as I can remember. As a child, I was aware of spirits. I actually could see them when I was a child. Always could sense things I couldn't explain. But over the years, that all just kind of disappeared. I think I was probably a little too much for my family, and they didn't really quite get that. So it kind of just dissipated. And when I was, oh gosh, probably in the around the 2000s, started to get interested again in learning about healing, taking up, just kind of dabbling in many different modalities. And I noticed that my intuition started to increase, that sensibility of just sensing something is near, or, maybe have you ever just seen a shadow and then you think, "Oh, I'm crazy." But it just became more and more prevalent. And I really had a great experience living in Mexico, meeting Native American elders, shamans, and some really unique people that helped me open those gifts back up. And it's evolving. And I think a lot of it, we all have intuition and these gifts where we can connect to spirit in many different ways, but we have to learn to trust ourselves.
Isn't that true? So, trusting yourself, what does that look like for you now? Trusting yourself.
Believing what I'm hearing and feeling and sensing.
Okay, and when you were a child, you said that you were seeing spirits, but then that started to shift away. So, what did that look like? What did the spirits look like, and how old were you when that started dissipating?
Oh, I was probably around 5 years old when I have memories of actually seeing spirits in a physical way, kind of looking like I'm chatting with you in that sense. However, I would try to share that with my family, and they didn't understand. So I think the more they kept telling me I was seeing things, I started to believe them and just kind of put that out of my mind. I had extremely vivid dreams as a child, um, with just a very colorful, I'll say. And they weren't always pleasant. And I think not having someone to kind of talk about it with who understood what was going on, it wasn't nurtured. So I just learned to shut it off, you
That's
know.
such a common story, especially like for our generation. It's a little bit different now. It seems like, things opened up more over time. I think late 90s and the 2000s, like you were talking about, things started to crack open a little bit more acceptable to acknowledge these things. Whereas prior to that, there wasn't a lot of there wasn't a lot of words, dialogue for it, and understanding. I don't know. Do you feel that the same?
I do. Yeah, it was kind of like it was so woo woo and so out there. I think the majority of people too want to confuse religion with all of that, which that's a whole other subject and can be very touchy, but it has nothing to do with religion. I think the younger generation is more open to understanding and at least listening. I have friends who have younger children, and they let them express what they are seeing or feeling and kind of nurturing that, because we do all have that gift, and it's like anything else. If you don't put the energy into nurturing it, it dissipates.
I love that. So, I guess, would you have, if there's someone out there right now watching and they are like, how would I nurture that side of me? Just a very basic, maybe one suggestion or two. How would I nurture that? What would, like, what's the first thing you're like, oh yeah, this
Oh,
or that?
that's a good question. That's actually a tough question. The first thing that pops in my mind is don't be so hard on yourself. Acknowledge it and believe it. Just gosh, I don't know. It's hard to put in words, but I think just having that confidence, like, okay, I really did see that. I did feel that, and honoring what it is, good or bad.
I think that's really simple, but it's profound what you just said, because I know that, like, I had created a picture once, and it said, when you acknowledge your intuition, like you get a thought on something that helps it grow, but when you deny it, it's almost like it closes that door further. So, for instance, like if I were, and this has happened in both directions, if I were running out of the house and I'm like, grab that, certain toy, and I'm like, well, I'm not even, because I work with children, and I'm like, I'm not even seeing that child today, and if I don't get it and
You
I don't
need,
take it with me,
yep.
there's a reason why I needed it. And then there's times I do take it and I have no idea why. I'm like, just do it, Laura. You've learned otherwise. And I do take it. There is something that shows up that I need. And I know that's very simple, but I that's honoring your intuition. And even if you don't understand it, following through on it, if it's safe and harmless, why not?
Exactly. Do you remember when we were in school and what they say when you're taking a test? Go with your first answer. Don't change it.
Yes, yes, I do. I do remember that. Especially with like the multiple choice, right?
Yeah. Oh, you don't have to know why. It's trust, it's faith. And I think, wow, it's something else just came. The second biggest thing I have to say, so I don't forget, don't worry about what anybody else thinks. It's This is your gift. Nurture it. You don't even have to share it if you feel the need to share it. It doesn't matter if someone believes you or not. That's not the point. You have to believe it.
Yeah, I love that. Yes, we do. We self judgment, and then a lot of times we can be frozen in fear by the judgment of others, right? So that makes a lot of sense. Thank you. I appreciate that, sharing that, and a little bit about how it sounds like you came in like this, right? And probably a lot of us did.
We, we all do.
Okay. Yeah.
It, but there are circumstances that we don't remember. It becomes stronger for some and not for others. We just have to remember there's a rhyme and a reason. Everything is in perfect order, and it'll be
Yes.
what it'll be.
Yes. So for everybody out there, here's your challenge for the next week. Imagine that whatever your intuition tells you or your gut instinct, whatever it is, go with it. See what happens. As long
Yeah.
as it's safe. As long as it's safe. As long as it's safe. And so that's a good segment into what we're going to actually pull on today, which is about our nervous system. Because I know personally, I have noticed for me and for many around me that recently it's been very emotionally kind of overwhelming, a little bit draining, exhaustion. A lot of people are feeling stuck, just a lot of emotions, and that can cause our nervous system to go out of whack. And that I take full ownership of that. That has been my life, unfortunately, a lot of stress for a while, but it's not just me, it's a lot of people around me. And so I was hoping that I have some questions here, and I was hoping that you'd kind of be on board with maybe pulling on some of this. Yeah?
Yeah, let's do it. And I'm right there with you. It's been an exhausting week.
Yeah,
There's
I'm sorry.
kind
I'm
of a
sorry.
lot of us. But as they say, it is darkest before the dawn.
I like it. So here's the first question before you start pulling, so we can get on the same page. So let's find out, maybe through a card or two, whatever we need. What are our maybe two, because there's a lot of people watching this, and maybe we would need some options, right? For person one, person two, or just something like that. Then, what are our nervous systems asking us to notice right now that
Good
maybe we're not noticing?
That's a good question. Okay, let's get some insight. Oh, gosh. Let's see. Love it. Very first card we pull, you can see this here. Gosh, I got chills on this. The Nine of Pentacles. This is saying a lot of the stress that and this nervousness is, wow, it's the affairs of the world. Finances, abundance. Are you on the right path? How are my needs going to be met? Not being so hard on yourself. Your system is on overload. I'm going to get a little more insight. And it's here we're getting ready to celebrate independence of our country, but there's a lot of turmoil, a lot of uncertainty, and that carries through, unfortunately, into our personal lives. And I think collectively it's saying, let it go, let the stresses go. There's some things that you just can't worry about because it's not going to change the outcome. But it is about just have authority on your life, nurture yourself, take care of yourself. It's having peace. Just set your priorities and hold that instinct that it's all going to be okay. Also hearing that something, I don't know, is happening that's maybe disrupting the sleep pattern. Are you feeling your sleep pattern disrupted?
Me personally,
Yes, because I'm wondering it may be affecting a lot of people.
I am one of the luckiest people because it takes a lot for me not to sleep.
That's good. That's good.
And I mean, honestly, like I can understand that. I know it's happening for some people around me, but I'm very blessed. I just drink a lot of water. I'm very good at getting the things that I need and kind of sticking to sleep patterns. Like I know how important it is, but um, that would be vital, like to helping with what the main question, right? Is like,
Absolutely. And you said the flow of water, aquamarine, go with the flow. Yes, drinking water. But what I'm receiving message right now is about going with the flow. Just take care of yourself. Don't let this little moment in time that maybe is causing discomfort to, don't hold on to it like it's going to last forever. It's not. We're rounding a corner collectively. Wanted to get a little more insight, and it is. It's like just finding that peace within and having the faith right now. The nervous system is working overtime. And I always have to say, there are just a couple of things I find just really wonderful to do for an overactive nervous system and feeling stressed. I always recommend hot salt baths or just getting out in nature in your bare feet. Let all of that stress and worry just be recycled through Mother Earth.
there's scientific proof that connecting with the ground is with our feet, or even getting your hands on a tree.
Yes,
There's an exchange that happens that helps us reset in a way that I can't. Unfortunately, I remember the feeling of the information, but I don't remember the specifics on that. But it's a real thing. That's why they call it grounding, but it's legitimate. Our bodies need it. It's why, animals in nature do so good. They get enough sunlight and they sleep on the ground, right?
Absolutely. And it's the best thing. And one last thing, that's that note. This is just saying new beginnings are coming. Be at peace. So the message is just really, really strong that this isn't going to be like we're not going to continue on with this chaos and, feeling so exhausted and the nervous system being so taxed because there is a collective change. And it is about new beginnings. And unfortunately, it does have to get worse before it gets better sometimes. And that can be personally, that can be globally, in many aspects of our lives, whether it could even be our careers or our relationships.
That's a really, yeah, definitely. There's all kinds of truth in that. So I think that like the first card you pulled was really powerful because it's just saying, hey, there's a lot of things that are happening on the global stage that are affecting people. And even if you're watching this, and I let me, and I'm going to invite you into this thought if you're watching this, that, there's this global stage happening, and you're like, I don't watch the news. I don't know what's happening. That's fine. But the reality is, we are all connected, and the energy of those who are watching this collective stage, it affects you, even if you maybe don't realize it on a subconscious way. Like it
Yeah.
still gets in there. That energy is still circulating of the stress or the frustration or the fear or the anxiety. So even if you aren't actively doing it, that energy is still around you in all these other little bubbles. So um, if you are, like many of us, feeling this weirdness, maybe it's not all yours. Maybe some of it is. But just be aware that you could be bouncing, you could be running into these frequencies, right?
That's really well said. Yeah, that's so true. It's well, if you go and you're hanging out with somebody and they're in a bad mood, you can't stay in a good mood. It's the energy. And like I said, you don't have to watch the news, but people you hang around are. The world is out there walking around in worry and distress. So you're picking it up. Again, we are spiritual, intuitive beings, whether we believe it or not. We are.
Right? And if you need a dose of like wonderful, turn on all this stuff from the FIFA Cup. If you haven't done it yet, just I'm recommending to all of you. The FIFA is here, I guess. I don't do soccer, but FIFA's here till July 19th, and they're in all these different cities around the US. And if you haven't looked up, like, Europeans are shocked by the United States. Europeans have been lied to. There are all these Europeans from all these countries. The Scottish are my favorite in Boston, but that are just making these videos, falling in love with the United States, saying, we were lied to. We were lied about Americans. We love you guys. You guys are amazing. And all these beautiful stories. So if you are in that high stress mode and that your cortisol is kicking outside of what Lisa had recommended, and you want to just get like this feel good, oh my God, I want to kiss every Scottish person I know, like go watch some of these videos because they will make you have faith in humanity and love and unity again. They're beautiful.
Yes, absolutely.
They're beautiful. And also, you see on the ticker tape at the top, join me every day on my channel. I have a new video. It's only 3 minutes, and we breathe for about 2 minutes together. It's a great way to train yourselves just to come back to the now moment using your breath. And the goal is that eventually, in a stressful moment, you will notice yourself taking deep breaths on your own without even having to think about it. So that's something that I highly, highly recommend. You can see it right up there. Um, Anything to add there, Lisa?
You know what? I just want to interject. I don't like timelines. I always say every time someone asks a timeline, take it with a grain of salt. It can change. But I'm really feeling that if y'all just hang in there for 2 more weeks, it's going to be a whole different energy.
That's good news. I like that. So here's my other question. I don't know if we covered this or not, but the question that I had next that I had listed in regards to this is, what am I carrying that I can release
Okay. Well,
that will help the nervous system?
the anxiety and stress of the collective, release it. that. Let's see what.
And maybe a card will give us a clue on how to do that outside of what we've already recommended, or a time frame, or
Okay, I've got here. I love it. I've pulled what is called the King of Wands. This card talks about kind of, what, being a visionary, having like inspiration, passion. And I think, the question when you were saying, well, what can I do about it? You mentioned about finding a fun video to watch. Just do something fun, meaningless fun. What do they say? Find your happy place, ignite your passion.
mm,
So whatever your passion is, if maybe you like to go roller skating, swimming, watching silly videos, something maybe you'd say, oh, I don't have one. Go take a paint and sip or try something different. It's like that's what needs to be done right now, is connect again with that little spark within you. Just do something for you that's going to make you happy. I always say meaningless fun.
I
I
like
have,
that.
my guilty pleasure. I don't know who created this, but on Instagram, there's these silly little AI kitty cat videos, Kiki. They just make me laugh. They're the silliest, goofiest things ever, and it's mindless. But
Oh, that's great. This actually connects into what you said at the very beginning when you had said that, we're in a time of change and new beginnings. So if you're getting this card about creativity, passion, and fun and joy, then to me, it sounds like, hey, if you want to get out of this zone of the anxiety and this, another route would be tapping into your joy and your passions and fun and laughter and all this enjoyment to like kind of move through it, because we can't just hop over it. We do have to move through it.
and it's tough. And when you're in that space, it's hard to just make time do something fun. What I always say, fake it till you make it. Just make yourself take that first step to do something that's fun. Color books. Many adults like
Hmm.
color. I mean, whatever can just kind of put your mind somewhere else in a healthy direction.
I love that. Last question. These are
Yeah.
great. And we did cover some of this, but I think it's still nice to maybe just address it with some cards because the cards have been so supportive with what we're talking about. What would make people feel more grounded right now? We suggested the breath, we suggested the baths, we suggested the trees, the outside, the sunlight, bringing in joy. But is there anything else that might help us feel grounded?
Spirit is screaming at me, turn the TVs off.
Okay, so no more Instagram for you. No more cat videos. No. But that's a great one though. Turn the TVs off. Maybe
Um,
maybe we're being asked to get into some silence for a little bit.
I pulled this card. Get out of your comfort zone.
Hmm.
Again, Spirit's like, it's do something different. Out of the comfort zone. If you do like to watch TV, maybe it is turning TV off. Um, you have to, there's like, I'm just hearing it's be conscious that you need to make a change. You cannot keep repeating a cycle that is causing you stress and isn't working, if that makes sense.
That makes so much sense.
It's like
It's
you got to take that deep dive. You got to get out of your comfort zone, just doing something fun, not for any reason, not because you want to change careers and figure out what your life purpose is, or worrying about bills, or oh, is this, how's my love life going? It's like, no, you have to do it for no reason other than just for you to try to find that peace within yourself.
well, isn't that the goal? That's beautiful. I love that. It's feeling kind of complete to me. I don't know. How are you feeling?
Yeah, I feel almost like a sense of, release,
Yeah.
like being grounded, and just like it's gonna pass. Be that tree that sways. You're not getting knocked over.
We're not going to break. We're not going to get knocked over, and we're not going to break. We're not going to snap.
Right? It'd be uncomfortable, but what goes up must come down. Things will get better, but we have to help ourselves a little bit, and it is hard sometime when you're not seeing it. So yes, as Spirit says, getting out of your comfort zone, something that just makes you happy, even if it's just for a second to deflect.
It feels like I had just had this little intuitive vision. It feels like we're being called to put on the oxygen mask before we put on somebody else's. And that oxygen mask is stepping outside of maybe our normal comfort zone, like you said, and doing those joyful things, just breaking that up. Like, here's your life. This is our life support.
Yeah,
We
that's a
want
good.
to get outside of that anxiety. We want to get outside of all that cortisol nonsense. Put on your not your life vest, but your, life support.
Yeah. Hey, and you know what it is? Breathing really can help to calm the nervous system.
Yeah. So just
Really.
you guys, you don't have to go to my videos, but breathe in for 4, breathe out for 6 or 7, and just having that slightly longer exhale, it helps reset your nervous system in a way that just, breathing in and out in equal amounts it's not as effective. So exhale longer. It tells your nervous system, hey, I'm okay.
Yes.
Another thing is to also open up your body like this, on the ground or where you are, to unfold everything, because to open your body up means you're safe. And our body recognizes this. This is vulnerable and protected and enclosed. It tells our body something different. So, something to consider.
Absolutely. And I think even one step further, when you're breathing in, tell yourself as you're breathing in, like, I'm breathing in just love, light, and peace. And then you hold that. And as you exhale, it's like, okay, I'm exhaling all that no longer serves me. Like,
Yep.
just get rid of that. The affirmation to yourself.
Exactly. I love that. See, you guys, this is what I do every day. Exactly what she's talking about. We breathe in, we breathe out, we think about some things, we let go if we need to, or expand if we need to. So join me in the morning for that, because it'll
It's
assist.
simple.
Yeah.
Few minutes, take a few minutes for yourself.
That's awesome. Thank you, Lisa. Is there anything that you want to pull on or you want to just share before we kind of end this session?
See if there's anything else. There is definitely a change coming in the next 2 weeks. I don't know exactly what that means, but it just feels like there's a smoother ride, of just that exhale is coming. I feel like we're actually in the process of exhaling, and it's almost complete, and we will feel at peace and grounded shortly.
I
As a
like
coach.
that.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Thank you. So, everyone, Lisa always offers something special if you want to get a reading with her for Laura's Lane peeps. Do you want to just share some of your contact information and tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, you can find out more information at my site. It's lisaleon.com. Also, a few things on Instagram at Lisa Leon Psychic Realtor. And if you message me and mention Laura's Lane, there's a little special incentive for a reading.
What would you spell when you said Lisa Leon dot? Did you say lisaleon.com?
It's lisaleon.com.
Okay, lisaleon.com.
You can reach out and contact me through there with any questions, or if you want to book a reading, and then there'll be a discount for the Laura's Lane peeps.
Awesome. Thank you. So, everybody, thank you for spending some time with us. Hopefully, you've got maybe you feel like you've been heard today, or maybe you've got a couple ideas of things you can do. Below, you'll see a free 5-minute evening reset. If you want to go grab that, there's also a link to my Empowered Lane Toolbox, which is exactly like that toolbox workbook was made for exactly this kind of moment. So when you're in that moment where you're like, oh my gosh, that workbook is a great tool to have. And it's a great tool to have, especially if you have kids. You can help your child evolve this workbook for their life. So they'll always have this toolbox of things they can go to when things are stressful or askew, or they just want to ground themselves. So check that out as well. And what am I missing, Lisa? I feel like I'm missing something.
Need to put the music on and dance.
Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. So thank you, everyone. Stay open, stay authentic, stay present, and cheers to you. You have something over there today?
I forgot my glass.
You did? Okay, we'll clink pens. You got a pen?
I got a pen. Okay.
We can do it. Well, cheers to you. We'll see you next time. Thank you, everyone. I really appreciate you being here. I wish you all the best, and we'll see you soon.